Hello everybody, my name is Aaron and this is the Stowe 99 YouTube channel. Happy New Year to everybody out there. 2026 is going to be an amazing year and we're starting off the new year with a fun video. And I know you're probably wondering, what even is this channel? What is this channel going to be about? Hopefully today I can give you a look into exactly what it's going to be like. But before we get into it, as much as I like the car, I think we should probably get a better spot for this one. Let's go. There we go. That's much better. It's definitely too good of a day to not be recording outside. But as we're getting into the video today, I just wanted to start off and kind of give you a little rundown of what this channel is going to be looking like. It's going to be a mixed bag of content and topics for the content. To give you a little rundown about me and my interests, I love sports, I love entertainment, and all the mediums in which they're presented in. So this channel is going to feature a lot of different content, and hopefully it brings joy to every person that watches it. So every week might not be the same here on the channel, but my goal is to upload at least one video a week for the whole year of 2026, starting today. So as we get into the first video of the year and of this channel, I think there is one specific topic which actually combines both my interests of sports and entertainment perfectly, and that is professional wrestling. I have watched the WWE for literally as long as I can remember, and it's one of my favorite things and programs to watch. And not only watch, but also to talk about. Unlike other sports, the WWE has no off-season. It's a weekly episodic television show that's ongoing from day 1 to day 365. So what better way to kick off the new year and kick off this channel than talking about the WWE? The end of one year going into the beginning of a new year is one of the most exciting times for us wrestling fans. It's the perfect point in time where storylines kind of start to wrap up and ramp up as we're getting on to the road to WrestleMania. And because this year is already off to an amazing start and projected to continue tonight on Monday Night Raw, it's easy to forget where we've come from in the past year. So today I'm going to do something that I've never formally done in my life and create a top 10 match of the year list, according to my opinion, of course. Nobody has the same top 10 list of matches of the year, but hopefully today I can give you a little insight into my opinion and how the matches made me feel. Some matches are on the list because of the action and the moves, of course, but most of these matches on this list is based off of the way the matches made me feel as a fan. But I have to say, the list was hard to choose because there were many incredible matches throughout the year, so I'm going to go ahead and start off with some honorable mentions. Try to follow along the best you can. I'm just going to name them all right here. Starting off with Penta versus Chad Gable in Penta's debut. Kevin Owens versus Rey Mysterio on SmackDown. Kevin Owens versus Cody Rhodes in a ladder match at Royal Rumble. Oba Femi versus Moose at NXT Roadblock. Oba Femi versus Javon Evans versus Trick Williams at Stand and Deliver. Oba Femi versus Javon Evans at NXT Heatwave. Sami Zayn versus CM Punk in an Elimination Chamber qualifying match. Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor in an Elimination Chamber qualifying match. The Elimination Chamber match where John Cena won. Seth Rollins versus CM Punk in a steel cage. Io Sky versus Rhea Ripley, both at Raw where Io won the title, and at Evolution. LA Knight versus Jacob Fatu at WrestleMania. Tiffany Stratton versus Nia Jax. All of the matches, but specifically SmackDown on the May 16th episode. John Cena versus Randy Orton at Backlash. John Cena and Logan Paul versus Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso at Money in the Bank. John Cena versus CM Punk at Night of Champions. John Cena versus Logan Paul at Clash of Paris. Rusev versus Sheamus in the good old-fashioned Donnybrook match at Clash of Paris. Cody Rhodes versus Jey Uso in the King of the Ring semi. Seth Rollins versus Cody Rhodes at Crown Jewel. All of the Gunther's Last Time Is Now matches. Gunther versus LA Knight in the Last Time Is Now finals. The men and women's Iron Survivors matches. Sami Zayn versus John Cena. John Cena versus Dominic Mysterio, where John Cena won the Intercontinental Championship. Ilya Dragunov versus Sami Zayn, where Ilya won the United States Championship. And Carmelo Hayes versus Ilya Dragunov with a late entry at the end of the year where Carmelo Hayes won the United States Championship. Just to name a few. So now that we've gone through the honorable mentions, it's now time to go into my personal top 10 list of matches of the year of 2025. Starting off at number 10, Sami Zayn versus Rey Fenix on SmackDown. Now, I was in attendance for this match, so there might be a little bias in here, but it was one incredible match that I will never forget. This is a week after Sami Zayn defended the title against John Cena on Cena's last SmackDown. He then went on to continue the open challenge on the following week, in which Rey Fenix answered the call. It was non-stop action, and there were multiple times where I thought Rey Fenix had the match won. And not only Rey Fenix, Sami Zayn as well. There were multiple near falls, multiple times where I thought it was done, signed, sealed, delivered, but the match just kept going. And that was not a bad thing because it was pure energy in that building. Kudos to Sami Zayn and Rey Fenix, and you had to get a spot on my top 10 list. At number 9, we have Seth Rollins versus CM Punk on the Raw Netflix debut. This was a match that I think all of us as fans believed was going to happen at WrestleMania. Little did we know it was going to happen a couple months earlier. But man, it was exciting because we finally got to see this encounter ever since CM Punk returned to the business. And boy, did they deliver. CM Punk came out the victor on top of this match, but it was a classic wrestling match with multiple moves. In fact, each one of them stealing each other's finisher, which made for an exciting near-fall contest. It was also the main event of arguably the biggest show of 2025, being Raw's debut on Netflix, and it left a great impression on me going in to the year of 2025 because CM Punk was on top along with Seth Rollins. Number 8 on the list goes to Rhea Ripley versus Io Sky versus Bianca Belair at WrestleMania. It was supposed to be Rhea Ripley versus Bianca Belair going into WrestleMania from the Elimination Chamber. However, a couple weeks before WrestleMania, Io Sky had a chance at the world title and beat Rhea Ripley. And they all delivered in this match. They brought all of the action, they brought all of the physicality, and it was tough to tell who was going to win going through the whole match. In fact, the ending was a surprise over the moonsault from Io Sky to seal the victory. And what a great start to night 2 of WrestleMania. I think it's safe to say that both Rhea and Io had an amazing 2025, and this is just one of their highlight matches, but to me, the best. Going into number 7, Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn in an unsanctioned match at Elimination Chamber. This match was in Toronto, so you already felt the home country blood boiling between the two of Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. In a heated rivalry that will last for years and years ago and to come, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens had to meet one more time in an unsanctioned match. This means that this match was no rules, no disqualification, not counted on the record, not associated with WWE. It was a straight-up fight. And it was one of the matches on this list that I believe is a love letter to professional wrestling. They brought out all the weapons you can think of, hockey sticks, barbed wire chairs, tables, the usual. And they fought and tore down the house. It's one of those matches that made you feel something during it because you appreciate both Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens as individuals, but also you appreciate their amazing rivalry. Hopefully Kevin Owens returns this year, and maybe we'll see him and Sami Zayn team up again, or maybe just tear another house down. Going into number 6 on the list, one of my favorite matches of the year, Seth Rollins versus CM Punk versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. This triple threat was incredible. All three not only had special entrances at WrestleMania, which is one of the highlights of WrestleMania, but they tore the house down against each other and made sure to remind people exactly who they are. The Tribal Chief versus the Architect versus the best in the world. Not to mention this also involved Paul Heyman, who nobody knew whose side he was really on. An unforgettable match from start to finish. Amazing sequences, amazing moves, with a storybook ending, with Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman aligning together, really kicking off this vision of 2025. Now we're going into the top 5 matches, according to me. These matches could honestly be switched around any which way. It was hard to put a number to them, but we're going to start here with number 5, CM Punk versus Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship at SummerSlam. This match was a pure wrestling match. I'll go on record to saying that I've never seen a bad Gunther match, and this one did not disappoint. Going against the best in the world, CM Punk hunting for that World Heavyweight Championship that he's been craving ever since returning to WWE. This match had all, and it really felt like CM Punk had no chance in beating Gunther because Gunther just kept the beating on him. But when one little slip up from Gunther changes the whole match and CM Punk wins, it's a feeling I'll never forget. We could talk about Seth Rollins cashing in, of course, but that is excluded from the reason that this match is on my list. Although, one of the best moments of the year, loved every second. Going into number 4, a match on the same card, but different night, John Cena versus Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam. This match was for the WWE Championship. John Cena, after being a heel for many months, in fact since Elimination Chamber, before the bell even rang, the Tron of John Cena, all blacked out like we usually know, turning in to the bright colors, the bright Tron, the song hitting the same, the crowd exploding when they saw the John Cena they wanted to see come out, the Never Seen 17, the GOAT with the title. It was incredible. But when the bell rung, they tore the house down. I use that phrase a lot, but I'm serious because the roof was gone. It might not have had a roof. But anyway, John Cena and Cody Rhodes went all around the arena. Who could forget the Cody Vader moment when John Cena came up with Cody on his shoulders and AA'd him on the stage. Also, Cody Rhodes hitting a Cody cutter from the top through the table. It was an incredible, incredible fight between the two. And Cody stood tall at the end, brand new champion, and it felt like a real passing of the torch moment. Don't get me wrong, I wanted to see Cena win, of course, but it was a great match between the two, and a match that not only stands out in John Cena's final year in WWE, but also Cody Rhodes' career, because he really delivered, as he always does. Going in to number 3, I know I said this for the top 5, but 3, 2, and 1 literally could be switched any which way. It was tough to choose, but I knew that number 3 had to be in my top 3 because I'll never forget the match. This match being the TLC triple threat tag title match between the Street Profits, DIY, and the Motor City Machine Guns. This match everyone thought would be on WrestleMania, however, was placed on the SmackDown following WrestleMania. I'm going to try to put this in words that make sense. WrestleMania deserved this match, but the people in the match deserved the moment. You always want to see talent on WrestleMania. You always want to see talent have big moments at WrestleMania because it's the biggest show of the year, and the show deserved this match. However, the wrestlers themselves deserved the time, the focus, the moment, which could have been overshadowed if it were on the WrestleMania 2-day card. Do I wish they were on WrestleMania? Yes, but I'm so glad that they had their own show, their own spotlight, a moment that everyone will remember because nothing could have taken away from it. And it was one of the best matches of the year easily, but one of the best TLC matches I've ever seen. They did incredible stuff. Their story was already ramping up throughout the year. It was already coming to a head, and they had a match that, well, you know the words, tore the roof off the place. From finishers through tables, prosthetic legs, and a spear from the top, from Angelo Dawkins to Ciampa. It's a match that had moments that felt like they'd never end, and it was beautiful because you didn't want it to end. In the end, the Street Profits pulled the gold from the top, and it reigns as a match that I will cherish forever. I love all those guys in that match, and I hope that we all remember it going on forward. Coming in at number 2, 2 and 1. I sat there switching back and forth, literally. I didn't know which one to put where. These are 2 matches that I'll never forget, 2 matches that I love very dearly, and it was hard to put a number to them. But at number 2 is John Cena versus AJ Styles at Crown Jewel. I remember watching this match and thinking to myself, how can you even dream of topping this match? They had everything. From AJ Styles coming out in his old TNA gear, which was a beautiful thing to see, and John Cena coming out to the sea of fans, all in yellow, all in his shirt, looking like an NBA playoff game. And these guys brought it. They delivered. They put on a match that is timeless, hitting moves from people that they faced in their careers. I could go down the list and all the moves, but I know you've seen it, and if you haven't, go watch it right now. But the moment with the fireflies always will stick in my head. John Cena hitting the Sister Abigail, and the beautiful tribute to Bray Wyatt with all of the fans lit up in the arena. Australia was loud, and I believe everybody watching this match was probably loud in their houses too. It was one of those things where you didn't want to see the match end. You were so immersed in the moment, so immersed in the idea that this is the last match we'll see between these two guys, and it is one of the last matches of both of their careers. Boy, what a match to have on your resume, already stacked resumes of the two wrestlers. And one that I'll never forget and always talk about because of how it made me feel, and of course, the respect and love for both AJ Styles and John Cena. Coming in to number 1. Oh, this is going to be good. Yeah, the final one. John Cena versus Gunther, Saturday night's main event, Washington, D.C., John Cena's last match. My brother came through clutch, as he always does, and got us tickets to be in the building at D.C. to see John Cena's final match against Gunther. We literally touched the wall at Capital One Arena, and we're in the building for one of the biggest events of our lifetime. Gunther came out to a chorus of boos. Boos, I'm saying lightly because it turned into a lot of different words. And John Cena came out to the warmest welcome. I have never seen a match, both on television, but specifically in person, where the crowd reacted to every single move. It was like we were not in reality, we were sucked in to this moment, this match happening before us. Every time Gunther hit a move, the crowd stayed seated, booing, screaming at him. And every time John Cena hit a move, we stood to our feet, jumped to our feet, in fact, cheering on the greatest of all time. Seeing this in person with my eyes and seeing people in front of me literally leap to their feet every time Cena hit a move, it was energy that you can't describe. It was a feeling that you can't describe. It was a moment that you literally could not take your eyes off of, and you literally could not sit still. In the end, John Cena taps out, and not a single person in that arena was happy. But that's the beautiful thing of this match. The story, the moment, the impact that it has not only on superstars to come, but on people, fans that watch it forever. They will remember this moment because the greatest of all time put on one of the greatest matches to end it all, and Gunther becomes one of the biggest superstars, one of the biggest people to defeat now. You can love or not love the way that it ended, but John Cena left his heart out there for every person in attendance and every person in the world who has ever watched one of his matches. So at number 1, to top off the list, John Cena versus Gunther at Saturday night's main event, my favorite match of the year. So now that we've gone through my top 10 matches of the year, it's now time to talk about 2026 and my predictions for how this year is going to go. So before I even get started with my 12 predictions, I do want to say this. 2026 will be the year of Gunther. Coming off of his huge win against John Cena, it's only right for him to be a conqueror this year. And on the women's side, 2026 will be the year of Jordynne Grace. I think it's evident after SmackDown that she is going to be on the main roster, and I don't believe she can just be there. I believe she's going to take over. Now that we've named who I believe 2026 is going to be the year of, let's go ahead and jump into 12 of my 2026 predictions. My goal is by the end of the year to at least have 6 of these correct. If I do, yay. If I don't, boo. We've got a whole year to figure it out. Maybe by the end of the year, if we have 6 right, we'll get a prize, and if not, then we'll get a punishment or something, spin a wheel. I don't know. But starting off with my first prediction for the year of 2026 in WWE, one that is specific to tonight, I predict that Bron Breakker will defeat CM Punk for the World Heavyweight Championship tonight on Raw. This is one of those matches that have been built up for the past few weeks, and CM Punk has been champion ever since Saturday night's main event from last year where he defeated Jey Uso. I believe tonight is the night that the vision continues. Tonight is the night that Bron Breakker wins the World Heavyweight Championship and no one is safe. How it's going to happen, I don't know. But I'm excited because both superstars are coming off of a hot 2025 and the rivalry is coming to a boil between CM Punk and the Vision. Can CM Punk successfully defend? I believe tonight he will lose to Bron Breakker. My number 2 prediction for 2026. I predict that Bianca Belair will defeat Jade Cargill for the Women's Championship. We haven't seen Bianca wrestle since WrestleMania of last year. Ever since then, a lot has changed, and her former partner, Jade Cargill, has captured the Women's Championship. So far, nobody has beat her, and I believe whether it be WrestleMania, whether it be later in the year, whether it be earlier in the year, Bianca Belair is going to be the one to dethrone Jade Cargill. My number 3 prediction for 2026 is LA Knight, will win the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania. Now, this is kind of piggybacking off of Bron Breakker defeating CM Punk tonight for the world title. I believe the person to dethrone Bron Breakker will be LA Knight at WrestleMania. Now, does this mean I think LA Knight will win the Royal Rumble? I hope so, but I don't know if he's going to be the one to do that. But as we know, there are multiple ways to the main event, multiple ways to the World Championship match at WrestleMania, and I believe LA Knight will get his shot and win. Plus, with his beef with the Vision and how Bronson Reed, crushed him through a car, I believe LA Knight's going to come back with a fury, and I believe he's going to come out on top. My number 4 prediction for 2026 is Uncle Howdy will win a singles title. Now, the White Six are currently the tag team champions on SmackDown. However, Uncle Howdy has not had a chance at singles gold yet. However, I believe that changes this year, and I believe that Uncle Howdy will capture gold for himself. There could be a chance that the whole White Six is carrying gold in 2026, and man, I'm here for it. My number 5 prediction, one that is very significant after Friday, I believe that Trick Williams will win the Money in the Bank this year. I mean, can you imagine Trick Williams pulling that briefcase down? Every night the champion wrestles, we're all waiting for whoop that trick. Sounds pretty good to me. Plus, who can turn down his lemon pepper steppers? I mean, he's ready for this. He's ready for the moment. He's ready to carry around that briefcase and win a championship. My number 6 prediction for 2026 is the ruler, Obafemi, will win the King of the Ring tournament. He is the ruler and the destroyer, as we know. So I believe Obafemi is going to break way into the main roster very soon, especially after his big match against Cody Rhodes at Saturday night's main event to end last year. He's primed for this. He's ready to compete against the best of the best, and he's ready to be the best. And as the tournament has shown over the past couple of years, it's a gateway to a world championship match at SummerSlam. So will this also be the year we see Obafemi win a world title? We'll see. My number 7 prediction of 2026 is Stephanie Vaquer will become the longest reigning women's world champion. Now, this title lineage starts at the SmackDown Women's Championship, which according to that, Bayley is the leader at 380 days. I believe number 2 is Rhea at literally 379 days, so very close there. I believe Stephanie Vaquer is going to crush that. She's already well over 100 days as champion, so I think it's very easy for her to walk into 2026 and conquer the year as she did 2025. My number 8 prediction for 2026 is Seth Rollins will team up with Roman Reigns once again. As we all know, Seth Rollins does not like Roman Reigns, and Roman Reigns does not like Seth Rollins. But given their history with the Vision this past year, I believe this year they will run into each other once again, but this time, unite. Former Shield brothers finally putting differences aside and teaming up once again is something that I believe we'll see in 2026. My number 9 prediction for this year is something that I really want to see, and that is Big E will return to the ring. Big E is so missed. Even though we see him every month at a PLE doing commentary and being an analyst, I miss seeing him in the ring. If that happens this year, I would love it. If it doesn't, I just love the guy. He is the best, and I hope that he has an amazing 2026. A little side note, my brother and I went to a Monday Night Raw after crowds were coming back after COVID, and it was actually the week after Big E had won the WWE Championship. Being blessed and seeing the New Day versus the Bloodline, and later in the night seeing Big E versus Roman Reigns versus Bobby Lashley in a triple threat match, but also after the show when we walked out to the parking lot and saw wrestlers leave from the show, Big E was one of the last people to come out. The WWE champion, the top guy, came out there and took so much time with all of us fans, and it really, really made our night, and it's something that I'll never forget. Big E, thank you. My number 10 prediction for 2026 is another big one. I believe that Chris Jericho will return and win a championship. I feel like it's very expected to see Chris Jericho this year, which I'm not going to take anything for granted. I hope we do. So to take that prediction a step further, I believe Chris Jericho is going to win a championship this year. This is something I wish we saw with Edge during his previous WWE run. He had an amazing run, but did not hold gold. So I hope that this time when a legend such as Chris Jericho shows up, he wins gold, whether that be Intercontinental, whether that be United States Tag Team, but I'd love to see the World Championship. Going on to our final two predictions of 2026, number 11, I believe that Gunther will retire AJ Styles. We already know that AJ Styles is wrapping up his career in 2026, and I believe that Gunther will be the one to end it. He ended Goldberg's last year. He ended John Cena's last year. I believe AJ Styles is next on the list, unfortunately. When this will be, I do not know. I don't know if it's going to go all the way at the end of 2026 like John Cena did or earlier, but I believe that Gunther will be AJ Styles' last match, and Gunther will win. And to cap off the prediction list, number 12, Cody Rhodes will turn heel. This is something that I feel like has been progressively building to, and we've yet to see it truly happen, but there are so many signs to it happening as soon as this year. Man, it could be as soon as this month. It could be as soon as next week for all we know. Cody Rhodes is one of those wrestlers at the top where he reminds you every single time he comes out how good he is. Not only in the matches, not only to the people, but you can hear the people too. It never gets quieter. So what would it take to turn the biggest good guy into the biggest bad guy? One moment. And I believe that this year is going to be the year that that moment happens, and Cody Rhodes will stand at the top as a heel. Well, ladies and gentlemen, take a breath, stretch a little bit. That is the end of our predictions and our top 10 matches of 2025. And this conversation can keep going because in the link in the description is a Canva page that will have all of my matches of the year listed. It will have all of my predictions listed, which we will update throughout the year, and a spot to type and submit your own top 10 matches of 2025 and your own predictions. In a future video, I might even go to that list and talk about some of your predictions and some of your top matches. So if you enjoyed this video and you enjoyed this topic, or you're excited to see a different conversation of a different topic in the near future, please subscribe. I'd love to have you guys here. I'd love to see your comments. Please leave any questions you have, any ideas you have. I'm so open to being here with you guys throughout the whole year as a community. That's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all have an amazing 2026. You are very loved. God bless you guys, and we will see you on the next video. What will the next video actually be? What's in the cards? We'll find out next week. Literally.